Hey there. Hello again. How are you doing all? This is Jordan Dotson, aka JD. I am the author of the book To Be How One Shy Guy Became a Smooth Conversationalist. I'm reading another narrative from my book, and I would like to share it with you. You've heard narrative 1, so now it's time for you to hear narrative 2. And I look forward to you listening to how this story happened from start to finish. So without further ado, here goes. Listen. We were on a night run. Streetlights sliding across the windshield while the app pinged and we chased tips. I was riding shotgun, counting what the night might add up to. When my friend said I should do this even when he wasn't around. With what car? I asked. He said I didn't need one. Do it on a bike. I reminded him that I didn't have a bike. He told me that he had one for me. A few days later, he rode up to my place with a genuinely nice bike, smooth frame, fresh tires, everything tuned and ready. I lifted it and carried it straight into the house, set it by the door, like something I didn't want the street to take back. No car, no excuses. The day didn't announce itself as important, but I could feel a hinge turning. I didn't take it out right away. I changed clothes, filled a water bottle, checked the app, tightened my laces, slipped my phone into my pocket, and let my nerves settle. Then I rode the bike outside, called an Uber, slid the bike into the trunk, and rode to the train station. I took the train to my stop, then hopped the bus to get farther down to my exact location. When I stepped off, I wheeled the bike to the curb and pulled out my phone, opened the app, and waited for orders to pop up for pickup and delivery. The map pulsed, the zones breathed. I swung a leg over and started rolling slowly, ready to move the second the first ping hit. I didn't know how monumental it would be yet. I was about to find out. Once I was out there, rolling and looking, Midtown Atlanta opened up all at once. I was dead center in the city, watching everything happen at the same time. Cars cutting left and right, people crossing and doubling back, businesses humming, doors swinging as folks moved in and out of stores and restaurants. Crowds drifted to and from gas stations and the Beltline. The streetcar slid past, buses sighed at the curb, and trains emptied stairwells onto the sidewalks. People headed to their cars. Runners and dog walkers threaded by the blocks. Beautiful women moved with the flow. I'd never been alone in this much motion. I was used to being linked up with family, friends, somebody. This was my first time in it solo, and the day kept filling with action as I went. It was overwhelming, not in a scary way, but in a way that snapped my eyes open and shifted how I saw myself. From that day forward. And then it happened. I got my first order. All the training with my friend flashed back, but that was from the passenger seat. Now it was just me, a locator, and a turn-by-turn directions in my earphones while I balanced traffic, street signs, and the clock. The pressure stacked fast. Watch the cars, watch the people, watch my route, and keep moving. I prayed, took a deep breath, told myself I'd get through it, and went. I missed turns, more than a few, and the cold autumn air bit at my fingers. But I kept correcting until I reached the pickup. I walked into the restaurant, gave the name, and had to wait a minute because they were busy. I watched the timer tick, breathed slow, and stayed ready. When the bag finally hit the counter and they called it, I grabbed my first order. That's when the next test hit. Pedal it to the drop-off and make good time. In that moment, I learned what the passenger seat had hidden. This wasn't easy. It was focus, sweat, and figuring it out as I went, one street and one decision at a time. As I left the restaurant, my phone buzzed. The customer messaged with their exact address. My palms went slick. I froze for a beat, wondering why I'd ever thought this was a good idea. I needed the money, wanted the hustle, but out here, I had no idea what I was doing. Still, I was in it now. I couldn't let their food go cold because of my fear. I took a breath, said a quick prayer, mounted up, and started pedaling. The city kept surging around me. Go, stop, go, stop. While the locator insisted I was in the wrong place, I rode downhill, then ground back uphill, chasing a dot that kept drifting. Sometimes I overshot by 3 minutes, then 5, then 7. Before I knew it, the map said 15 minutes off. My anxiety climbed with every correction. I knew how to ride a bike, sure, but not how to ride a bike and run deliveries with this app. It felt like trying to solve a puzzle in traffic. I finally called the helpline. They told me what I could try, and I listened hard. But by then, the clock had eaten the cushion. All I could do was breathe, adjust, and keep searching for the right turn, determined to figure it out on the move. I was wrecked when the time finally ran out. The phone pinged again. This time it was the customer asking for a refund. They were right. It was way past due. I accepted the request and felt the bottom drop out. Back to square one. I pushed the bike to another corner, sat on the seat, and waited. A couple of minutes, 5, 10, 15. At 20, ping, another order. A store pickup, 10 minutes away. If I followed the directions exactly, I went for it. Halfway there, I realized the catch. Same brand, different location. I was at the wrong store entirely. The devastation thickened. The app didn't even care about the logo. It cared about the exact address. On-road directions weren't second nature to me yet. I was learning live, and it was messy. Frustration flooded in. I turned the app off and just pedaled. Sad, disappointed, empty. I drifted until I found a spot to stop by and call my mother. I told her the entire thing. She said, "You're in it. Figure it out as best as you can." I needed that. I kept rolling, checked the app, nothing. I called my sister, checked on her, told her what I was dealing with. She said I'd get through it. I called my friend too. He told me I was made for this, that I'd figured it out. I thanked them all, but the hard part was that I couldn't believe any of it yet. Not in that moment. It was a rough time, a rough day. I kept rolling, waiting for another order to ping, so I could at least say I tried before calling it quits. After a few loops, the alert finally hit. Another store order. I stopped, checked the details, took a breath, and went for it again. Another miss. I was outside the zone again. At that point, I respectfully bowed out, slid my phone back into my pocket, and just rolled. When my legs got tired, I walked the bike. On the way, I saw a man moving back and forth, clearly in a hard spot. He was homeless. I checked my bag and realized I still had the food from earlier. Thanks be to God and the way I was raised, I didn't hesitate. I handed him the bag, told him Happy Thanksgiving, and God bless. That moment was the highlight of my day. Even though everything had gone rough, it felt like I won the lottery to be able to bless someone else. It steadied me. I rode on with lighter shoulders to a nearby coffee shop, parked the bike, bought a cookie and some water, and called my mom to talk it through. While we were talking, my brother texted me, asking where I was and if I was okay. I told him I'd gone for a ride. He offered me a lift home, and I sent my location. He pulled up, we loaded the bike, and I told him the whole story on the drive home. When I walked into the house, the air was sweet. Pop's cooking Thanksgiving dinner. I sat down, still a little disappointed, but grateful. The day hadn't gone as planned, but I had my family. And that was more than enough. Thank you for listening to yet another selection of my narrative. This is yours truly, the Smooth Conversationalist, Jordan Dotson, aka JD. Until next time, family. And thank you for listening. Salute, and God bless.